Hello and welcome to the Comic Book Addict channel. This is my regular video that I do every month where I tell you what comics I read for the previous month. That month being February 2019, in which I read 77 comics. So this time around I'm going to start with the independent groups, the non-Marvel, non-DC comics, starting with this one from Dell. This was a nice find at an antique mall / flea market recently. The New People, #1. This was a short-lived TV show that I'd actually like to see, but I haven't been able to find any way to watch it. But yeah, it looks very interesting. So I read that. I read G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 259, as well as the Sierra Muerte first issue. Here's a promotional comic that I picked up recently. Power Pack Pals, 4 Rules for Personal Safety. It's a Boy Scouts comic. I got into some Ultraverse, specifically Mantra, or Mantra if you prefer. I read issues 2, 4, 9, and 10, which was also a flip book with Ultraverse Premiere #2. Here's an interesting one. Swords of Sharpay from Caliber, #3. From Dark Horse and Valiant, Predator vs. Magnus Robot Fighter, #1. And speaking of Valiant, I read Exo Man of War, #7. A friend of mine, an old colleague of mine, recently gave me this Umbrella Academy trade, the second trade, Dallas, to get me interested in the new Netflix show. And so I read this and really enjoyed it. And the last non-Marvel, non-DC book is one that I showed back in my 10 special comics video. This old book from the 1920s, let me see, 1923, it says on the front, Bringing Up Father, #7. So those are the independents. So let's do the DCs next. Starting with Superman 85 from the 90s. Adventures of Superman 507 and 508. As well as Action Comics 694, 695, and the recent 1007 variant cover. Red Heroes in Crisis #5, the recent Superman #8, Shazam #2, that's an extraordinary cover. Faces of Evil, Cobra, #1. I went back to read some older Shazam with The Power of Shazam #2. Young Justice #2. Some Doom Patrol, #17 there. And then jumping forward to 34. Tiny Titans #8. And Superboy #2. From the New 52 we have Demon Knights #6. And one of your Walmart specials, we got the Superman 100-page giant #3. And those are the DCs. Looking now at Marvel, which of course is usually the biggest batch, and that proves true this time. Avengers 146, 157. Jumping to the Heroes Reborn era with the volume here, #3. Then to recent times with 13 or 703, 14 or 704, and 15 or 705. Then the No Road Home series. It actually follows Avengers Legacy numbering. It just jumps ahead a little bit to give this series room to complete what it's doing. So this is number 1, or 708. Number 2, or 709. Then we do some Daredevil, the recent volume, number 15, 16, and the brand new number 1, or issue 613. Captain America 7, or 711. Immortal Hulk 12, or 729, and 13, or 730. Champions, a series I'm enjoying, number 2, or Legacy 29. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, or Legacy 152. Superior Spider-Man, number 2, or Legacy 35. Doctor Strange from a few years ago, number 5 and 6. Then going back to the 90s for X-Men number 51. The recent X-Force number 2, or Legacy 232. The recent Marvel Comics Presents number 1. And these 80-year specials that I've been enjoying. Journey into Unknown Worlds number 1. And if you listen to the podcast, you'll know that I also read in conjunction Journey into Mystery 2nd volume, number 10. Reprinting some Marvel sci-fi and horror stories. Here's another promotional book. This is the custom edition for the Marvel Universe Live, kind of a prequel to the show. Then also another promotional comic, we have X-Men Taco Bell exclusive. Spider-Man the Manga, number 13. Going back to the 70s with Tomb of Dracula, number 30. I read Darkhawk 41. Super Soldiers 6. Some classic Spectacular Spider-Man with issue 14 there. G.I. Joe Special Missions, number 3. The recent Savage Sword of Conan, number 1, or Legacy 236. Uncanny X-Men 11, or 630. 12, or 631. Another 80-year special with Gunhawks, number 1. And again, if you listen to the podcast, you know I went back and read some Marvel Westerns with the 70s Gunhawks series. Number 1 there. Number 2. Number 4. Number 6. And number 7, when the title changed to just Gunhawk Singular. And that was the last issue. Also read The Western Kid, number 2. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, number 4. Some William Shatner with Tech World, number 2. And the last Marvel comic, and the last comic of the month I read was Wolverine Infinity Watch, number 1, with the Perez variant cover. So that's all the comics I read in February 2019. Thanks for watching.